There we go. And just to get ready, I'll request remote control, but I'll let you drive most of this.
Okay.
Right. Wait for it to finish loading up. There we go. Okay. Now, you see, and this happens, and there's reasons for this. This is not an air condition, but if you look up there at the top stripe, it says Carlson Survey 2022 with IntelliCAD 10.1. Then it gives you the coordinate file name, which right now is set to none. That's because this file was, created as a save as. And it says what
Well,
the
actually, that one's the save as. The other one is the original one, which I did a save as over top of.
well, that's okay. You could, because you did it that way, and it came out of this one. So these two files are really the same file, right?
Yes.
So we don't even need this one. Okay, so we'll just stick with this one. That's the same file. Now, if you go up to the points menu and pull down and choose set coordinate file. Now go back and find and make sure it's on the existing tab. And is that where your coordinate file used to be?
Yes.
Is in the Carlson folder?
Yes.
All right. Let's see if we go up a level. Nothing there. If we look, I'm just going to look and make sure that you've got, see that these are showing up. Yes. Okay. So, there it is. So nothing in any of these. All right, so that file is physically missing. It's not just that it came unlinked. Hmm. All right, let's take a look here a minute. I want to look for, see, where do you store your, where do you store your project files, on drive C or drive D?
No, I leave them on the desktop.
Okay, so, but that desktop is on drive C. I just meant which physical drive do you put them on? So if you keep them here, like even on the desktop, you see, that's actually the desktop is part of, C user shep, and then it says OneDrive desktop. So you're actually, this actually lives over on a OneDrive, huh? That's a cloud drive. That's interesting. All right. Well,
Now,
so we'll
in the
just,
worst case, I did a backup of the whole system on Friday,
okay.
which I
And
did
how much,
Friday.
how much change would
A
you?
lot. A lot. Our whole session was done since then.
Okay, but not for the drawing. The drawing's okay. How much change on the coordinate file would have happened since then? Did you make any?
Some, not a lot. I mean, it would take me probably an hour or so to recreate it.
Okay,
Most of that time would be head scratching, figuring it, trying to remember what I had done.
All right, well, let's see if we can't. Let's see if we can't figure this out in a second here, Putz.
Oh, that was probably misspelling. I'll bet that's it.
That says what?
Oh, that's 2019.
That's 21014 Arnold Daily.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
All right.
I don't think.
Well, it was last modified on the 17th at 4:08 in the evening.
That's gotta be it. Although I don't know why it changed names.
All right, let's see here. I don't want to open it. All right, I'm gonna copy these. And then I'm going to go to your, is it 2021 jobs or
2022 jobs is what, are you looking for the current file?
yeah,
So it's in 2022. And it's down there under putts.
all right. And you keep them in here.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to paste these and
Oh, it did change to 2219. I thought
Pardon?
it was 20. It did have the right job number.
yeah, it's always had that, but it's just in a different place. All right, now let's go back to your drawing and we'll take a look at this and let's see if it's even the right job. You scroll through that and see if that looks like the points from this job. That may not be, it may be from a different job.
No, it looks like it's right. Let me do an inverse here.
Well, before you even do that, just go back to the model space where you can see one of your points and just double click on a point number. Yeah, you see the little arrow that points to it?
Yeah.
It's pointing right to the location that that this is reading.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. Otherwise, it would come up with that warning that says the screen position and the coordinate file position differ.
Okay.
So now it looks like we've managed to catch that correctly. But what you need to make sure of is that you've got, does this have the the correct number of points? Does it
Sure
have,
looks like it. The point that I just clicked on was the last point that 246 was the last point that I created, and it's showing there.
yeah, so that's showing that. So now let's see if there's something we can get from some reporting here. If we look at a compare points, if we source from the drawing. Let me see if I'm gonna get this right. If maybe I source from the current file. Just say all. See all. So it says all 150 points match. So looks like we've managed to luck out on that one, Mike.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Well, I've been down that dark road before, so I just try a few tricks that I remember.
I just wondered how it moved to a completely different file.
I don't know. It's almost like you would have had to have typed the name. And you see the Lutz versus Putz, the L is next to the P on the keyboard, so that's a possible. But I don't know why.
How it got into the daily folder.
Well, that could be like, just accidentally something is whenever you're doing something like anything that requests, a place to store this, if this could have been set to something else as a result of another command, or you could have accidentally had a list of different things in here and maybe pulled it down and it got selected. So I don't know. There's not, I wouldn't waste a lot of time trying to track the mechanism of that down, but it looks as if we've got it back. And now, do you remember the latest edits that you made to the drawing? You think all of those are in here too, because it saved after the crash?
Yeah, I can see where they are. I mean, that's
Okay.
the last point that I created.
All right.
256.
Okay.
So I think I'm okay.
That's
Thanks to you.
great. That was it. Oh, let me show you something too. It looks like what you're getting ready to do here. Looks like this 246, that's going to be, you're going to tie this over.
Yes.
And get rid of this little gap in here.
Correct.
Well, let me show you something that is available. I'm going to select the lines and stuff here. And oops, let me see. That's not what I meant to do. All right, I'm going to view, show hide by selection, isolate. All right, so I'm going to isolate this. Okay, so here's the thing, because you want this to come on around, go to this point and go up to this point, but it's got this weird shape in there. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
But what you can do is, instead of having to to recompute this hatch, if you click on a hatch, you see it comes up with these little grips.
Yes.
Like a polyline.
Right.
So you can actually edit that. And you can do things like, remove that vertex. Let's remove. If we bring that vertex, oops, that's not the one I want to do. Let me put that back. All right, so here, now let me see which ones I want. So if I want to get rid of, like I want to move, or this one. Or first, I'm going to sit there and add a vertex, and I'm going to add it to the node of this point. Okay, and now I'm going to get rid of this, if I can. That may be an origin point, so it's not, yeah, it's not popping up. All right, so I want to get rid of this point and this point and this point so that it goes from this point straight across to here. Let's see if I can figure out a way to do that. So if I jump that up to there, and then if I get rid of let's see me get rid of that one. All right, so there. So there. Well, even though you can do this, sometimes it may not. Sometimes it is easier just to do it afresh, but let's see here. Node. And then we'll put this guy back up there. And now we'll just adjust this to there. And then send it to the back. There you go.
Okay. Now, I still got layers isolated there, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just turned it back on right there. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's good. So that gives you a tie across point there. And did you do the same thing over here?
No, I haven't done anything to that. That's where,
Yeah, but just as a general rule, if you've got just a few edits you want to change and you don't want to try to just redraw the hatch if it's too complex or whatever, but you can edit a hatch just like you do a polyline with those grips. You can grab them and move them and you know, add a vertex, remove a vertex. The ones that down below that I was pointing to that did not show up with this little menu is because that was either the starting or the stopping point of the perimeter. So those you can't ever do anything with those. But the ones that you're most likely going to be doing are done like that. So, yep. So there now you see you've got that goes down to that point center. Let's go down, just double check down here. Your point center to point center to point center. You're right on the arc. You're right on the arc. You're in good shape. Now it's got these internal points because we clicked it once, clicked it over here as well. So these are actually two sub parts to that hatch, but it combined them into a single hatch.
okay.
But so yeah, in fact, and it's fine to compute that point there, but you could have also just like maybe taken this and wherever that point was, you go to the next point and say, I want to add a vertex, and you could have simply gone to perpendicular that arc, you know,
Yeah.
or something, what, you know, whatever it might, you know, correspond to. Now I'm escaping all that. I don't need to do that, but, yeah, and then that one came down and hit there. I was thinking these are, yeah, those are just floodplain boundaries. So now that boundary is not, that's a different boundary there. That, and you're showing that now, see, this one comes inside, so it actually does not go all the way out here.
Right.
Floodplain doesn't, but this one, the floodplain is actually all over here, so that's correct.
Right.
Yep. And but plus also, since the fact that you've got this point over here as well, you know, you may need to use that to, you know, tie over that easement line or whatever you need to do. All right.
Right. Sounds
All
good.
right. So save that. So you're drawing, and always look up here at the top stripe. Excuse me. We've got the coordinate file back. Excuse me. And the drawing file name is back to where it was. I'm going to do one more thing right here to check, just to look at something. I didn't mean to set, I meant to coordinate file utilities. Yeah, so these are all of those calculations that you've done, and you see the dates where you did them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always good to keep that history file, because sometimes, let's say something did happen and the CRD file was damaged, you can go back and recover some of these. Now, let's see if we, yeah, good. Okay, so it is now set. And just double click one more time. Goes right to it. Get one of these out here. Yeah, look at point history. Okay. I think you're in good shape. And let's make sure everything's back on. Okay, you've been saved. That's it, or anything else?
That's it for today. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. Hey, with that, have yourself a productive day and a grand weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All righty. Well, I'll post you the video just in case it helps.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. All right. Bye-bye.